All right. Hello, everyone. This is Tanya Howell. I am happy to be with you here today. I'm actually doing a re-recording of this, which I did a class last night online, and a lot of people wanted to see it again and share it with a few others that weren't able to attend. So I'm redoing this all over again for the benefit of those of you who want to learn more about how to have healthier kids. And obviously, if you're a mom, you're a happier mom because you have healthy kids, right? So I know for me, this is something that I have loved sharing with people for many years. How I've been empowered by a routine that has really benefited myself and my family, and it keeps us sick free most of the time, and we're able to combat a lot of those things that we come up with on an occasional basis. So with that, what I want to do is kind of share my PowerPoint here, and obviously if you can see me, you know that I'm here in my home office, and this is where I love to be able to be, is be here at home, be a mom, and still be able to share this information with others. So with that, I'll go ahead and get started and jump right into it. So the first thing that I want to kind of talk about today is let me go back up, is talking about natural remedies and why this is really important, that we return back to our roots, which years and years ago, when we had an ailment or we had an issue, we turned to nature to solve our problems. And unfortunately, in the world that we live in today, it's largely symptom management, and it's all about solving problems from the surface level and addressing the symptom as opposed to focusing on the root cause and really using things that help to support and naturally heal our bodies. And we do that in the form of good eating, a healthier lifestyle, and really embracing things that really, again, support our body's needs. And so when we look at, again, the trend of what's happening today, what we actually do see is that there's awareness happening. And that's why you're here today. You obviously were introduced either by someone or you've been open to using more natural things. And that's what we're seeing that's becoming very common in the world today, is people are turning to natural forms of healthcare to be able to help support their family's health, and not just focus on symptoms, but really addressing the root cause and using things that are safer and more natural for the body. So me, just a little background on myself. I'm a mom of 3 kids here at home, and I have always been interested in natural health and helping to support, a good lifestyle, and got into massage therapy years ago, was introduced to essential oils way back then, and never really had an amazing experience with them. I thought, yeah, they're good, they smell nice, they must be doing something, but I never had an amazing, powerful experience until I was introduced to doTERRA essential oils. And of course, you probably are here because you have heard of doTERRA, and you either were shared an experience by someone, or you maybe did some of your own research. But needless to say, doTERRA has kind of taken the world by storm, and basically shared and introduced essential oils as part of the mainstream way of life. And so in the last few years, now we are having this awareness of essential oils and how powerful they are and how they're able to do so many things for us. And so years ago, when I was first introduced to essential oils, doTERRA essential oils, I was a little bit skeptical. I will be honest, I was skeptical because I thought, I've used essential oils in the past, but I never had an amazing experience. And it wasn't until I started using for myself, I obviously got started, wanted to start, experimenting for myself and my family, was able to help with multiple things going on in my family. At the time, this season, cold and flu season going around, was able to stay at home and not have to run to the doctor. I was able to take care of my family. And I can share with you many instances, which I will actually through the course of this time. I'll share with you many stories, but have been able to problem solve pretty much most of life's things that have been thrown at us with my essential oils and with some of my natural products that I'll share with you today. So that is kind of what started me on this journey. And now I truly believe that this is something that's another part of a healthier lifestyle, is having tools having things in our own home that empower us as moms, as dads, as families to be able to take care of our bodies naturally and to be able to go intuitively with the things that we feel in our heart that we can do to support our kids and support our needs within our own home. So why doTERRA? Why is doTERRA becoming the name that everyone is looking to as far as the being an expert in the realm of essential oils? Well, I'll share with you a little bit why here just in the next couple minutes. So obviously it's gained a lot of recognition, particularly in a lot of the medical community. We're hearing a lot of hospitals start using the essential oils, a lot of medical professionals, a lot of scientists are doing our research. We have Johns Hopkins University, which lends a lot of credibility to the quality of our essential oils, that they want to study our essential oils. Roseman University, a lot of different universities and hospitals doing studies on our essential oils and finding them to be the purest, most effective essential oils on the market today. And here's one of the reasons why. So there's really two parts to doTERRA and what makes us unique. First of all, is that they go to great lengths to source them around the world where they're growing in their best, most ideal environments. So they look for the climate, the soil conditions, the best, again, ideal places that they can find essential oils, and they source them from around the world, globally, where they are the highest therapeutic content that they can find. And if it's not, they will not source them. They will not produce an essential oil that doesn't meet the highest standard. So they basically have this standard, and they use this co-impact sourcing model, which is also very unique to doTERRA, where they go and source in a lot of these areas that third world countries around the world are financially struggling economies, and they form relationships with these partnerships to the point that now they have a 96 and even higher percentage exclusive rate, meaning that those countries are wanting to do business and partner with doTERRA only because of how we are able to provide and help and support in ways that have never been done before these countries with our essential oils, sourcing and partnerships with them. So we definitely, it's a very humanitarian focused company. We're not just about sourcing essential oils, but we're really about helping and uplifting these and lifting up these economies throughout the world that have been growing essential oils harvesting essential oils for years and years and years. And so it's all about giving back. So that's first and foremost. I could go on about how much I love that side of doTERRA, but the other side of it really is, it's where the science comes in. We have what's called CPTG, is Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And basically this is a process that they go through of being able to test third party. We have a company called APRC, which is a third party facility that actually tests our essential oils and has been able to show that doTERRA has oils that are unadulterated, that are pure, and there's not a single oil that is ever distributed from doTERRA that doesn't meet that highest standard of quality testing. So to go to great lengths and to, obviously spend that time and the resources to make sure and ensure that we get that pure essential oil is something that I'm really grateful for, and that I have trust, and I can know that what I'm using, again, on my kids and on myself, on my body, is the purest source of essential oils that I can find in the world today. So that is why I use doTERRA, and that's why I promote and share this with others, and why you can also have faith and trust that what you're getting is of the highest quality that you can find. Now, let's talk about, in the next about 30 minutes, we'll talk about these 4 categories. We're going to break it down to enhanced immunity, basically how to have strong immune systems, how to have a better sleep, how to have better mental clarity and focus, and then a little bit about diet and nutrition and how that all ties into basically a healthy routine and how I use these on a daily basis for myself and kids. So the first thing, when we're talking about building immunity, really, our immune systems, as Dr. Hill says, are the first line of defense against diseases and viruses. And where does our immune system start? Well, it starts in our GI tract, believe it or not. So our first line of defense against all these different things really starts in that intestinal tract. 70%, in fact, of our immune function is within our digestive system. So when you look at how important that is, it's obviously crucial to having good long-term health, and obviously to have a strong immune system. We want to take care of our gut. So there are certain things that we want to be doing on a regular basis, particularly in times when threats are high and we're surrounded by a lot of different things going around. We really want to strengthen our immune systems and our gut. So here's what I want to share with you, a little bit about what I do daily, myself and my family, to strengthen our gut flora. And that is, we have a PB Assist. It's called PB Assist and PB Assist Junior. And basically it's a probiotic. The PB Assist, the one with the capsules that you see, the little green capsules, actually has a chlorophyll base. It's a prebiotic and a probiotic. And basically what that does is it allows it to pass through that stomach acids, where, most probiotics that you get on the market, it's in that little capsule. You can open it up, all that powder kind of pours out. Most of that is actually eaten up by the stomach acid. So where you really want it to end up is inside your intestinal tract, which is where it's going to be the most effective at being able to kind of to populate that healthy gut flora that we all need, and that is vital to our digestive health, our immune health, and pretty much all systems of the body. Starts there. And so we have this for adults. We also have this for kids. And fun enough, what I love about the PB Assist Junior is it's actually kind of like a little pixie stick. If you've ever seen, those little candy pixie sticks, has a little powder. Well, this is, slightly bigger than just a powder, but it does have a capsulated powder that is able to, again, have that same effect of being able to pass through the stomach acid and being able to safely and effectively populate that healthy gut flora with kids. So my kids love it. Every other kid that I've tried this on loves it because of how easy it is to use and consume, and it's super effective. So that's something that we do on a daily basis. Now, what do we do as far as the essential oils? And this is where this gets fun, and I love sharing more about the oils that I use to help protect myself. So On Guard, if you're not familiar with it, it's one of the most widely studied essential oil blends in the world today. And in fact, if you go on PubMed.gov, you'll see that there's actually studies that names On Guard by name, and being able to inhibit the growth of certain bacteria and things that they've studied On Guard with. So the way that we can use this, we can use it, we can diffuse it in our homes, we can rub it on topically on the bottoms of the feet. We can even use it internally as well. There's numerous ways that we can use this, and this is how we use a lot of our essential oils. doTERRA, because of the quality, again, they guarantee their oils to safe for internal use. Now, not every oil would you want to use internally, but some oils, you can safely take them internally. And so you just want to be cautious. And of course we have, when you get started with them, we have different things that can help you to know amounts and how much and how often and that sort of thing. So, but just know that there's those three ways: internally, topically, as well as diffusing. So this is something that we use every day, whether it's on the bottoms of the feet, or I'm diffusing it in my home, or sometimes it's just a little beadlet under the tongue. This is a great thing to help support our bodies. And if, of course, if you, again, know anything about doTERRA, know about the On Guard, they have an amazing collection of On Guard products. The beadlets that I was talking about on that top left-hand corner is something that is super convenient to use, and I use this with my kids. It's very easy to get that little beadlet, little drop in their mouth, and they're off to school or whatever it is. And then on the right-hand side, you can also see the different oils that are in this essential oil blend. So those are, when you look at the two top essential oils on the ORAC score, there's actually clove and cinnamon are two of the three top scoring ingredients or scoring nutrients on the ORAC score. So being able to fight free radicals and help support our immune systems, that's why it's in there. So clove and cinnamon are definitely two of the top things that we can be using, obviously, in this On Guard to help boost and strengthen our immune systems. Okay, so when we look at germs and how they're just kind of everywhere, and especially at school, another reason why I love On Guard is, to be able to help protect against that. And that's what I use to spray on different areas of my home, especially if someone's not feeling well. Usually what happens at home, and if you're like me or have been in the past, it starts with one child and then you think, oh my goodness, here we go, and the browns happen. I've found that since I've been diffusing the oils and using, obviously, the On Guard, I spray it around different areas where I know that maybe there's some sick exposure or whatever. It prevents that duplication or that domino effect of everyone, getting under the weather. So what I love about having the On Guard is you can use it so many different ways, and it's very effective in being able to help, again, remove those germs that are being spread around. So multiple ways that we can use it. Now, for extra immune support, obviously we have a collection of essential oils that help to support our immune systems, and you can see here that we have 5 that are typically in our little remedy recipe that we use to help support immune systems. Frankincense, which is very anti-inflammatory, it's a great immune support as well, great for nerves. Lemon, it's also very cleansing. Detoxifying is something that you would want to use daily. Any kind of citrus oils, really great for that internal cleanse support. Oregano, they call it nature's most powerful natural antibiotic, and it's definitely a great immune support. You can see so many different studies and things on oregano oil. And then, of course, On Guard, I mentioned that. And then Melaleuca is also very great for immune support. It's antibacterial, antifungal, a lot of different properties to help with immune support. So how do you use this? If you have little kids, it's best to apply bottoms of the feet with some fractionated coconut oil, put on some socks and afterwards, just so they're not touching it or getting it in their eyes or anything like that. But usually this is how we apply it with our kids, is on the bottoms of the feet. And then for us as adults, if we feel something coming on, or even prior to, so this is not just when something happens, again, we think preventatively, and that's not how my mind works, is how can I prevent this from happening to begin with? So I use a lot of this protocol. I'll use, especially if I know that things are going around, I start putting it on, taking it internally, whatever I can to really boost our immune systems at home. And that's what I personally have used for myself. And then, of course, if that happens, someone doesn't feel well, someone feels ill, then we really attack it with this remedy, this collection of essential oils to help us to fight it off quicker. And it has. I will speak from experience. In the last year and a half, we really haven't even had a sick day. But if we've started to feel anything coming on, I attack it immediately, and usually it's short-lived, maybe a few hours, maybe a day, and because, again, I'm doing things preventatively, but I'm on top of it as soon as there's any type of feeling whatsoever of not feeling right? So definitely, there's so much more that I can talk about with regards to how we use these oils, but we're going to move on to the next part of having a healthy immune system, which is sleep. So how do we have a better quality sleep? One of the things that I have learned recently is just how important sleep is, not only for ourselves, but for our kids, and how their immune systems are really dependent on their how well they are sleeping. So when you look at this chart here, this is just something to reference. You might find interesting is how many hours we should be getting at night. If we're not getting that much sleep, then we may need to question, what am I doing to not get that much sleep? Or maybe you're not having a good quality sleep. How do you have a better quality of sleep? So it really is a balance between having good energy during the day and having good quality sleep at night. So how can you achieve that? Well, there is two oils that I like to use that I want to share as part of my morning routine and part of my nightly routine. And these two are Balance and Serenity. So let's talk about how I use these in my morning routine. So in the morning, one of the things that we like to do, now this is not always the same every single morning. Sometimes I mix it up. I have a few different oils that I love to use to send my kids off to school or off for the day, or even myself. I like to apply different emotional or maybe grounding blends to help calm and center us for the start of the day. So Balance is our grounding blend. It's a blend of essential oils, which also includes frankincense. It helps with tension, it helps with restlessness, it helps with irritability in particular. This one, I can't tell you enough of how this has been able to help my son on numerous occasions where he's feeling really irritable, and this really just helps to calm things down. So, but it really, again, sets that that grounding, I guess, that grounding effect emotionally to be able to start the day with, balancing the nervous system and working as a stabilizer throughout the day, as it says. So this is how I start my day. And then at night, before bed, this is always, always, always something that I love to apply before I go to bed. Serenity essential oil. You can diffuse it. You can put it on a pillow. I have some people that put it on their hands and kind of rub it on their pillow, or you can put it on the bottoms of the feet. So what this does, this has actually been tested in a clinical trial. We have a soft gels that also is a really great companion with the Serenity oil. And they did a clinical trial with people who had difficulty sleeping or different maybe issues happening as far as not getting good quality sleep. And what they found across the board after this trial is that they were actually sleeping better. Their sleep habits, their sleep quality of sleep had improved over that period of time. So this is something that I've personally witnessed myself. When I use this before I go to bed, I rub it on my big toe. I love to rub a little bit on my hands and breathe it before I go to bed. If I do that before I go to bed, it pulls me into a deeper sleep more quickly, and then I feel like I sleep sound at nighttime, which is super important. Also really good for kids. If you have a restless child that maybe is waking up at night, this is an oil that I would definitely apply on their feet. I have a story really quickly that I'll share. I was actually on a plane, and this was about a year ago, and this mom had a little restless child that was just crying for probably a good hour. It was like nonstop, and it was getting to the point where people were kind of getting a little anxious, like, this child is not stopping. It was continuing to cry and just really having a hard time. And I would say this child was probably about 2, maybe a little bit less than 2 years old. And I was actually sitting in the row in front to the side. So she was kind of diagonal to me. So what I did is I finally got the courage enough to think, okay, she needs some help. Maybe we can try this oil and see if it works for her. So I actually passed her this essential oil, Serenity, to this mom. And I said, have you used this? And if not, would you like to try it? And she hadn't never used it before. She was at that point willing to try anything. So I gave her that Serenity, told her what to do, put a couple drops on her hands, and then massage it into the child's feet. And she rubbed it in. And of course, the child at first was like, what are you doing? Trying to rub onto my feet. Put it up to the baby's hand. And, she just kind of calmed at that moment. And then she handed me back the oil, and the baby turned around, kind of laid her head on there, had a little whimper for about 2-3 seconds, and literally from that point on, completely stopped crying within a minute. And I kid you not, within a minute, she was asleep, and she slept the rest of that flight there. It was amazing. And I just thought, wow, if I wouldn't have shared, who knows if she would have, just continue to cry. And but that helped that baby sleep, and the mom was so grateful. In fact, she asked for my number and information to contact me afterwards because she really wanted to have that oil. So definitely a testament to how well this helps. So other oils, there's obviously other oils that can help with sleep. And we have lavender, of course, is a very common one as well. Some people do really well with vetiver. That's another oil that I have by my bedside because it's also very calming to that nerve chatter going on, or that brain chatter going on. I find that if I have, the wheels are spinning, I have a hard time like just calming my mind, vetiver is definitely the oil that I would turn to, because again, it has that very grounding, calming effect on the nerves. It's also really helpful that those two oils that I mentioned, the Serenity, Lavender, Vetiver, those have been shown to really help kids that are maybe having a hard time even focusing at school. Maybe their minds are too active and they're really just kind of out there and just have a really hard time concentrating, calming that mind. And those oils have been shown. There's actually a study that I found that was actually talking about how essential oils have been able to help children that struggle with ADD. And so that was something that that I've referred a lot of people to as well as being super effective for helping with those type of things, besides helping with sleep. So with that, let's kind of shift gears to the mental clarity and focus, and we'll kind of hurry this last little bit up. Mental clarity and focus. What can we do to really help with concentration and focus? Well, these are also two essential oils besides kind of the other two that I mentioned, helping with calm. This also is this combination of peppermint and citrus bliss, or really any citrus oil, helps with just kind of invigorating and kind of waking up the brain to focus a little bit better. So maybe if you're feeling a little bit, or your child is feeling a little bit sluggish and just maybe has a wandering mind and can't really get focused, this is definitely one that will help to do that. There's numerous classroom studies where they've used these two oils and found it to be really helpful in helping the kids concentrate better in school, especially with testing. This is another essential oil that's been shown to help those kids that, again, have a million miles of words going on in their mind, that have a hard time really focusing and tuning that out. InTune really helps to kind of calm that, bring that back together to be in the present, to help really stay on task. And again, you can see a testimonial on one of our Facebook pages that's about this little guy who, I think he's probably 13 now, but when he was struggling a few years ago, his mom was introduced to InTune. She started using it, and the teachers immediately said, "What are you doing? He's a different child. He's cooperating in school. He's more focused." And it's all because of this essential oil InTune. So obviously there's so many different things depending on what it is that's going on that can help with mental clarity and focus. Here's another combination. Again, peppermint, wild orange, or citrus bliss is really good for helping with homework. Rosemary, believe it or not, that's in this combo here, is also really good for helping to increase memory by up to 75%. This is actually a study that showed how effective rosemary is in kind of increasing that brain activity and being able to retain information and recall information better. So another good combination, if you have a child that's maybe struggling with retaining information, wants to kind of have some help and support in that area. So adding rosemary to the wild orange or peppermint is one that I would definitely recommend. So finally, diet and nutrition. Let's talk about why this is so important, especially for our kids. This is really important that we are creating a healthier generation. They say that this is the first generation in history where our current generation as parents will actually outlive our children's generation. It's because of this lifestyle, of unhealthy lifestyle, this trend that's happening. And it's so important that we're starting with a good foundation of nutrition, because again, that's going to affect our gut health, and our gut health again determines how we're going to feel later on down the road, or even at that later on in life when we're more susceptible to sicknesses and disease. So it's important that we're providing our GI tract with the most important nutrients that are going to help to build and fortify and strengthen us. And so that is found in our micronutrients, and really getting all the essential nutrients, essential minerals, our good health, cellular health, our omegas. That is all really important for brain health, cardiovascular health, heart health, so many different things, especially as we have growing kids, that we want to make sure that we're getting adequate amounts of nutrition for them to stay healthy. So we have two products. Now we have on the left-hand side the adult version of this kids version here. And of course, it's going to have a lot more extensive than what we have for our little kids. But basically, we have the chewables, which are whole food vitamins and minerals, and super effective for helping provide all the nutrients that our growing bodies, our kids' growing bodies need. So, and then we also have our IQ Mega, which is our omegas flavored with our wild orange essential oils. That's also really important for, like I said, brain health, focus, concentration, so many different things. These are an important foundation in health, and this is something that I use daily for my children. Every single day they get both of these so that I make sure they're covered in those areas. Now, as far as other things that may be helpful, let's just talk about, tummy troubles. Occasionally you have tummy troubles. Maybe it's something that they've eaten they shouldn't have eaten. Maybe there's some food allergy issues that you need to consider. But what I've loved about this Digestin oil, it's one of the fastest working essential oils I've ever seen or come across, because it immediately, within minutes, I can feel a difference. If I use this oil and my stomach's unsettled, or even if you have a child that's maybe feeling nauseous, and I have a couple of my kids that get car sick easily, if they use this oil, they will not throw up. And it's amazing how well this oil works. Rub it on the tummy. You can put it on drop in your hand, give it a lick. You can even put the drops right under your tongue. My kids have done this all ways, and it's amazing how quickly it works with any type of tummy troubles whatsoever. Other things that we deal with, how about seasonal threats? When things are pollinating, going around, and you're having the sneezes or the sniffles, this is a really great combination. I've recommended this to so many people throughout the last several years, and I've had just about every single one of them will say it was night and day difference when they started using this. Forget the allergy pills or whatever. Again, this is kind of helping with addressing what's going on in the body, and helping to calm that that inflammation that's happening, helping to soothe and helping to decongest, and also helping to open things up. And so this combination, lemon, lavender, peppermint, is a really great combination that you can use topically. You can diffuse them, and you can even put it in a veggie cap, take it internally, and it's something that I've used many, many times and found really works. So respiratory issues, again, we have another blend. It's called Breathe. It's a respiratory support. So any type of respiratory issues, congestion, it really helps to open up the airways and breathe better. So I use this even as I'm going out for a run, or if I'm even exposed to any type of pollution, things that, if you live in a big city and you really just want to help to cleanse the air that you're breathing, and just, give your body some good oxygen, Breathe is a really great oil for that. But especially if you have any sort of respiratory issues, this is a really great oil to use. Diffuse, rub it on topically, or even put it in your hands. Okay. And just skip that last slide and kind of go straight to really what this is all about. So again, for me, this is all about thinking preventatively. This is not about when things happen, then we start problem solving. It's about how do we establish daily habits of physical and emotional well-being? How do we prevent some of these things long-term that are really going to give our families that feeling of empowerment and knowing that we have things naturally to take care of our bodies, instead of looking for outside sources to come and fix us, that we can actually use things right now to strengthen our bodies and strengthen our minds. And that's what I love about what doTERRA offers, and why I love sharing this with so many people. So how do you get started? If you are not familiar with how doTERRA works, it's kind of like a Costco membership. You have a wholesale membership, it's $35. You can have access to wholesale pricing. What you pay is the same price that I pay, and you can buy whenever you want. So one-time membership of $35. And then thereafter, whenever you want to reorder or you want to purchase, you have your own account to do so. The other way that people get started, and this is actually the smartest way to get started if you're looking to save money and get the best deal, is to buy an enrollment kit, is what we call them. And so what that is that's basically kind of getting a bundle of essential oils. So you maybe get a kit of 10 to 15 or however many essential oils that you want, and I'll show you here on the next page. But that is the smartest way that over 90% of all people getting started with doTERRA usually purchase the kit, because you're also prepared for all of the day-to-day things that you want to kind of address and support. So on the left-hand side of this page, you can see there's kind of retail pricing and there's a wholesale pricing. You can't really see it too well. Don't worry about that at this point. But like I said, once you get started as a wholesale customer, if you choose a kit, anything thereafter, you get wholesale pricing, because that $35 is not something that you have to pay. It's kind of included in your membership using or purchasing a kit, and then you can like I said, from there on out, whatever you're consuming, whatever you're using, some of the things we talked about that maybe not in this kit, for example, the PV Assist, the probiotics, or maybe there's the Intune blend, or some of the other things that you may want to try. If they're not in a kit, you can get those outside of your kit and just purchase them wholesale. So these are some of the popular kits. We have our Natural Solutions, that is the most popular kit in doTERRA. If I were to start all over again, I would have started with this kit. It wasn't available when I first got started, but it's something that definitely is a great starting point and has a range of different oils that are kind of the most common oils that we see that people use on a regular basis once they get started with Natural Solutions. And then of course the Home Essentials kit is the next most cost-effective way to get started. And that is having a diffuser with 10 different essential oils. Again, all of the basic oils we talked about today that every family would use at some point. And so it's definitely one that that I have found most people loving, getting started with, is with those basic oils. Family Physician Kit is the smallest kit we have. You're just kind of dipping your toe in the water a little bit, and maybe you're kind of unsure and you just want to kind of experiment. It's one of the basic ways to get started. It has all the same oils as the Home Essentials kit, just in the 5 ml bottles instead of the 15 ml. So you're getting 3 times the amount with the Home Essentials kit, plus you're getting the diffuser. And so it's a much better savings. So with that though, what I would encourage you, and just let you know, is that you don't have to feel alone in this. This is not something that, once you get started, that now you're just kind of thrown into trying to figure it all out. We have so many resources. We have a couple websites here that you can go to. You can purchase a book if you'd like to get started with having, a whole dictionary in essence of how to use essential oils and what you can use. But you don't even need that. We actually have an online system, an education system that's going to walk you through helping you learn how to use the oils. We have an entire community of people that you'll be plugged into. I myself am one of the leaders on this community, and we provide education constantly for our customers, our members, just so you can feel confident and know that you have a whole team of people that are here to support you and educate you, give you suggestions, and basically give that added encouragement that we all need, that we can do this and we can help really get started in the right way. So if you have any questions, feel free. You can contact me back. If whoever sent you to this Zoom webinar recording, if you would like to reach back with them and have any questions for them, definitely reach out to them. But you can contact me also if you'd like to reach me by a cell phone. You can send me a text. Just in case I happen to be busy, text me first, 480-570-1720. Again, 480-570-1720. I'm happy to answer any of your questions. But really, the key is just to get started. Just get started. Find something that you really want to get started with. We're happy to assist you. We're happy to guide you and give you the support that you need to feel confident in this, and so that you can be prepared as you, maybe your kids aren't headed necessarily back to school. Maybe they're in school this week, but basically you're prepared with the day-to-day things, and you're establishing a routine that's really going to support their health long term. So with that, thanks everyone for joining. I look forward to hearing from you, and make it a great week. I hope everyone does well. All right, thanks everyone.